Yo, so guys, welcome back to another video. It's been, the last few days I've been a bit, not slack, I've just been not doing as many reactions, just maybe a little break, I don't know. Just trying to make sure I don't go through a stage where I don't post a lot, so maybe taking smaller breaks may just help a bit more. But we're back with another sort of US reaction, US geography type reaction. I don't know if it's going to sort of go look at historical type things for each individual state or what, but we're going to check this video out, and the video is all 50 US states summarized by geography now. This actually might be a channel I'm interested in. I love geography. I've not really sort of found a specific geography channel that's like focuses on just geography, because usually like the videos I see are like history mixed with geography type things. But who knows, maybe this could be a channel that I react to in future. But I don't know if I searched this up also. There's a few videos that come up. I searched all US states summarized because that was what people were suggesting for the next video. I don't know if this is the right one or this one here. I clicked this one as well. But what I noticed with this one is it's like a younger person saying, I don't know. And it's got a lot more dislikes. And I just thought maybe it's a bit more sort of off with certain things. But maybe I'll check that one out in future as well. But we're going to give this one a watch because I am interested in seeing more about, I'm interested in learning more about US states, etc. Because I do love these types of reactions. I may start doing individual reactions to individual states so I can learn more about each individual state in future. I don't know if people would like that or not, but it could be fun things to do in future. But for now, we're still learning about the whole of the US because there's still a whole load more to learn about. But let's get into this. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy. Also, thank you for the support. Like, it's just crazy. It's still going. The support is ridiculous, and I can't thank you guys enough. But long may it continue, right? We'll see how long it goes for, but for now, I'm just enjoying doing these videos, and yeah, let's just get back into this.
Hey, Geography peeps. So this is a little video that I kind of wanted to make for a while, but never really had time until now. So of course, the majority of Geography Now subscribers are from, my home country, the US.
You're probably wondering why I have to do that. I'm using one screen at the moment, so with the other screen not being here because it's broken, I've got to get it fixed. The video is going to be a bit scuffed at the moment, so you're probably going to see me go into my Streamlabs a few times to just adjust the
However,
settings.
we do have a very, very noticeable and sizable community of subscribers outside of the US. And some of you have expressed, a little curiosity as to how each of the 50 states, kind of function or what they're like. Each state does kind of have their own unique individual qualities, and I'm going to try my best to explain each and every single one of them to you right now. Alabama, where both white people and black people are poor, but they party equally hard. Roll Tide! No, but seriously, Alabama is kind of like where the Confederacy started, so, Civil War. Alaska, America's refrigerator. Seriously, this is like where we stockpile up all our resources that we won't tap into until things get really messed up. It's the largest and coldest state. You can find polar bears and the native Yupik people. Arizona, the Grand Canyon state. Crazy. This is kind of like the King Desert state of the US. Arizona is also home to the largest Indian reservation, Navajo Nation. Arkansas, basically just read the book Where the Red Fern Grows. It basically just gives you the gist of what Arkansas is like. And the people here love.
I need to get back into books, honestly. I've not read a book. I don't think I've ever really read a book, and that's going to annoy a lot of people. I mean, I think I have, but when I was younger, I don't know. Maybe I should get into books. Suggest me some books I can get into. Maybe
they have
I will.
The highest dog ownership out of any state in the country. California, my home state. So let me just put it like this. If California somehow, for some reason, seceded from the US, it would still be like the world's 7th most powerful economic superpower.
This blows my mind. This is one of the craziest things I've learned about over the past few videos I've done. How rich, especially California, Texas, and New York are as states. It's ridiculous. And Florida as well. It's ridiculous. It's crazy.
So obviously California holds a high position of geopolitical influence in our country. Nonetheless, California is still heavily dependent on the US government. We're the home of the entertainment capital of the world. 3 of the largest tech companies in the world are in Silicon Valley. Crazy diversity and everything you need packed into one place, California. Colorado, our healthiest state, which has the lowest levels of obesity. This is probably because people go outdoors and get, fresh air and enjoy those mountains. Just be careful if someone offers you a chocolate truffle or a brownie. They are really enjoying those new cannabis laws. Connecticut is like the gentler, cleaner suburbs that people move to when they are sick and tired of New York. Delaware, the first state to become a state, and that's like literally
the first state to become
all they got going for them. I think they have like a cardboard box factory. Florida,
the first state to become a state. Wait, what? Am I missing something?
America's swampy playground. Seriously, like none of the houses here have basements because if you just dig down a little bit, you'll hit water. Orlando was originally built because not enough Americans could travel all the way to California to visit Disneyland, so they built Disney World. They made it bigger, and then like 8,745 other theme parks opened up. Georgia, the Peach State, home to Coca-Cola and the busiest airport in the US, boiled peanuts and Little Miss Beauty pageants. Yeah, some places do that in America. Hawaii, the last state to become a state. Before we made Hawaii into a state, it was actually its own country, like it was a Polynesian country.
Wait, is that the Hawaiian flag? So it's got the British, or is this, wait, just so I can see this. Hawaiian, I've probably spelled that wrong, so bear with me with that, but Hawaii, it is! So why is there a British flag on that? Why is the inclusion of the Union Jack on the United Kingdom is a mark of the I can't even read. British Empire's historical relations with Hawaiian Kingdom, particularly with the King. Can't say that name. The flag continued to be used. Oh wow. That's really interesting, but it's a US state. See, that's stuff that I really find crazy.
State to become a state. Before we made Hawaii into a state, it was actually its own country, like it was a Polynesian country. They had their own monarchy and everything. Liliuokalani was the last queen. It's pretty cool. Otherwise, you know the rest. Hula, surfing, pineapples, luau's, yada yada yada. Idaho. The only fact that most Americans know about Idaho is that they grow the most potatoes out of any other state. I mean, apparently they have some cool secluded spots like hot springs and gorges. Otherwise, I feel like the people in Idaho are probably hiding a lot of dark secrets that we don't know about. Illinois, the land of Lincoln, even though Lincoln was born in Kentucky. Now, I actually grew up a large portion of my childhood in this state, and a lot of people know this place by another name, Chicago. Seriously, like half the time people don't even know what state Chicago is in. And historically, it was known as like the slaughterhouse of America, partially because all the cows from Texas were brought up here to be slaughtered, and also because there was kind of like a little bit of a mafia past. Indiana is like Illinois' annoying little brother who took the town of Gary away from Chicago, and then they get to claim that they have the birthplace of Michael Jackson. No, but seriously, like the only interesting thing from here is like the Indy 500 car race. Otherwise, John Green is from here. Iowa. Iowa is like the state that was so flat and so dull that they had to find creative ways to entertain themselves. Oh, and they're known for being really good at wrestling. Kansas is the heart of the Midwest, famous for Dorothy from Wizard of Oz, and this is literally the flattest state.
See, that's just the UK. That's just England, or not actually the UK, because Scotland and Wales are actually quite, they've got mountains and stuff. This is England in a nutshell. There's no mountains here, it's just flat. Most of the UK is like under sea level, or most of England's under sea level, which is ridiculous. I mean, when global warming, if the sea rises, the sea continues to rise, England's fucked. But that's for another video anyway. But yeah, this reminds me a lot of England for sure. Like just flat land.
In our entire country. Kentucky, you with your baseball bats and bourbon and KFC and horse derbies. It's also home to Fort Knox, where we hide all our gold. Louisiana. Now y'all coming down here, y'all gonna see that you gonna get the real culture cajun. Vous comprenez, mon ami? Louisiana is one of the only few states left in the US that has concentrated francophone communities that speak French, kind of. Known for the bayou.
Really? I wouldn't have expected that for Louisiana. Wait. Sorry for pausing again. I want to see that. I'm going to spell the name wrong again. Louisiana location on map. Because I know like the... Wait, what? So it's down south? I mean, I knew it was, but I was just thinking like... Because I know this sort of area, obviously there's Vermont, which is like a French name. Or a French sounding name. So there's obviously French influence there. And obviously then... I swear Quebec's like around this area. But it's all the way down here, so that's quite interesting that that's like there's just a French sort of speaking population there, even though it's so far from like the up north areas kind of thing.
And a diet high in crawfish and crabs, reptiles and other swamp creatures. This place is unlike any.
We're 4 minutes in. Sorry for pausing loads, but
reptiles and other swamp creatures.
Oh my god, is that a cooked crocodile with like bacon on it? That's hilarious. I shouldn't laugh because that's crazy, but it's just got. I swear that's bacon. If that's bacon, that is hilarious. But what the hell? That's ridiculous.
This place is unlike anywhere else in the U.S. Maine, the lobster state. This is like where all the tough Atlantic sailors come and live and have houses on foggy cliffs with lighthouses. Maryland. Maryland is like home to the richest, most well-educated black people in our country. It's also home to Olympic gold medalist Michael Phelps. They also love crab. Crab cakes, baked crab, boiled crab. You cook it, they eat it. Massachusetts is like the library of America, and it has our best university, indisputably in the world, Harvard. However, there's like 3 different types of people from Massachusetts. There's the uppity, the gritty, and the intellectual gritty. They all believe they are better than the other 2. Michigan. I am so sorry. You were doing so well in the early 20th century. You're like one of the richest states, but then you kind of filed the largest municipal bankruptcy case in U.S. history. Minnesota.
Isn't that for, what is it, for Detroit? Forgive me if I'm wrong. I swear that's the city of Detroit. One of my subscribers talked to me about that, and I actually want to learn about that because it's like it was one of those cities that was prosperous, and then one thing led after another. And yeah,
I was actually born there. Minnesota is kind of like the Finland of America. Plus, there's also like an actual lot of Finnish people and other Nordic people that live there as well. The land of 10,000 lakes. And if I must say, they have some of the most attractive people in our country. It's just they have kind of funny accents. Hey kids, let's go grab our bags and read the magazines. Yeah, I grew up with that accent. Mississippi. This is like probably America's truest, deepest southern. Y'all put some butter on my grits state. Speaking of butter, yes, they are the fattest state. Just they are. They love their churches, pecans, and tons of famous people like Oprah and Elvis were born here. Missouri, America's gateway to the Midwest. Missouri is kind of like Kentucky's fraternal twin that also got mixed up in the Civil War and was kind of acting like a buffer zone. Today they are known for their Kansas City barbecue. Yeah, the largest part of Kansas City is actually in Missouri, not in Kansas.
That's
Las Vegas
such
for
a funny
old people.
fact.
And people who probably collect those tacky figurines and put them in their china cabinets. Sorry, Missouri, just that's the image that conjures up in my head when I think of you. Montana, America's big, empty, mountainous, may as well just make the whole thing an Indian reservation state. I mean, seriously, you got the Blackfoot, the Flathead, the Crow, the Cheyenne. Nebraska, corn and steak. That's literally like their only attraction. Oh, and Warren Buffett, the 2nd richest man in America, lives here. Nevada is like California's drunk girlfriend. Las Vegas alone is like 80% of what keeps the state alive. Oh, and we bury all of our nuclear waste somewhere in there too. Rock on, Nevada. New Hampshire is kind of like a small autumn wonderland with beautiful foliage and wooden covered bridges. Home to Dartmouth, the smallest Ivy League university. New Jersey, pretty rich and very angry. Like, they don't even try to brush off the stereotype. They just own it. They either go crazy on the dance floor or crazy on each other. New Mexico is like Arizona's little brother that had to live in his shadow his whole life, but then breaking.
New Mexico for me is probably one of the most one of the states that I'm probably the most, is one of my least knowledgeable states. I don't really know much about it. Probably a few more as well that I'm forgetting, but I think New Mexico is one of those for sure that I just don't know much about, so maybe I could look into that one as well.
Bad happened, and now he came out with like 6-pack abs and a sleek new look, and Roswell is supposedly where aliens landed.
Wait, what? That's not, no way, is that Jesse Pinkman? That's not, is it? There's no way that's Jesse Pinkman.
On each other. New Mexico is like Arizona's little brother that had to live in his shadow his whole life, but then Breaking Bad happened, and now he came out with like 6-pack abs and a sleek new look. And Roswell is supposedly where aliens landed. New York is kind of like where so much of American history got its roots. Most Caucasian Americans that have ties to immigrants from the 1800s can trace their ancestors back to Ellis Island, where most Europeans came in. Home to our largest city by population, New York. Proud people with big attitudes, and they never sleep. Seriously, like this whole place never stops moving. North Carolina, the first in-flight state in which the Wright brothers flew the first powered aircraft in 1903. Otherwise, Coca-Cola's arch nemesis, Pepsi, was born here. North Dakota, congratulations. Now everybody's paying attention to you because of that whole Standing Rock Reservation, Dakota Access Pipeline controversy drama thing. In addition to a high concentration of Native Americans, there's also a lot of Norwegians that live here, many of which still speak Norwegian at home. Ohio is like the most plain Jane typical American experience state with corn dogs and fireflies in the summer with fireworks and carnivals. They also have the largest Amish population out of any other state. Then election time comes up and everything becomes a bloodbath. Oklahoma, America's tornado state. Now, pretty much all of the Midwest gets tornadoes. However, Oklahoma, dang, you get hit hard. Oregon, it started out as like the frontier logging and lumber state with burly men with axes and chainsaws. But then one day, the hippies realized they couldn't afford living in San Francisco anymore, so they all just kind of moved up north. Now Oregon is like this this weird lumberjack vegan hipster hybrid freak show with good donuts. Pennsylvania, America's history state. We should have had our capital over here, and technically at one point our Congress did actually meet in Philadelphia. If you want a real American history story, come here. Rhode Island, our smallest state, and it's not even an island. It's not even a peninsula. The heck, Rhode Island? Anyway, they were one of the original 13 colonies, and other than that, they really don't have much else going for them. I mean, they're home to the fictional city of Quahog in the show Family Guy, but that's about it. South Carolina. These people love their tobacco, fudge, walnuts, and it's home to the largest portion of the Gullah community. They speak their own Creole mixed with African influences, and they hold their own communal festivals and celebrations.
I tell you what, I'm really finding out, like, through this video, I'm really finding out how diverse the US really is. Like, I know it's one of the most diverse countries, or it probably is the most diverse country, but seeing this, so many different cultures, it's just crazy how this is all in one country to me. It's absolutely insane. It's ridiculous. Like, you have like people from all around Europe, people from all around Africa, Asia, North and South America, like just everywhere like possible. Like, there's just so many sort of small sort of populations in the US, just like pockets of them around the US. It's crazy. I'm really learning about the cultures as well, man. It's really interesting seeing this, and maybe, or not maybe, I'm definitely gonna have to look more into the cultures of these sort of states as well, man. I really do want to see some things involving like that. South
Dakota, the other Dakota. Home to Mount Rushmore, America's most iconic presidential landmark. They're also working on the largest sculpture in the world, the Crazy Horse Monument. Otherwise, like North Dakota, they also have a sizable Native American community, mostly part of the Sioux Nation. Tennessee is kind of like the girl down the block that Texas has a little crush on. The capital of the Appalachians. Mountain folk, bluegrass. Country music artists all come here in hopes of making record deals. Now everybody knows about Texas. Texas was at one point even its own country, and in Texas, everything is bigger. Football, or American football, is basically a religion. Barbecue and barbecue sauce are each separate food groups. Cattle ranches are everywhere, and contrary to
barbecue and barbecue sauce, I mean, I'm not complaining. I love barbecue, so I'm not even complaining about
popular belief, most Texans don't really mind Mexicans or Mexican culture, as so many already live in their state that they've actually kind of developed this new Tex-Mex culture that fuses both of them. Utah, basically everybody kind of knows this place as being like America's Mormon state. Salt Lake City is like the headquarters of the Mormon church, and over half of the entire state's population is registered with them. Otherwise, they have great skiing, the Sundance Festival comes here all the time, and they have great eroded rock formations, like my favorite site in all of America, Monument Valley. Vermont is kind of like New Hampshire's smaller twin brother that makes a lot more maple syrup. Otherwise, the only other thing that they got going for them is Ben & Jerry's.
Ben Jerry's is from there.
If that company goes bankrupt, they will become the next Michigan. Virginia is kind of like where everything started with the US.
Ben Jerry's does slap though, so I can't see that happening anytime soon, mate. Ben and Jerry's is next level.
Essentially, the British came in, they tried to start a little small town, and then the whole Pocahontas thing happened, and then Disney made everything incredibly accurate. It holds so much history. So Virginia and Pennsylvania, those are like the two history states. Washington, the evergreen state. Basically, imagine the exact same scenario with Oregon, except replace hippies with computer nerds. Bam! Microsoft, Amazon, Expedia, Starbucks, Boeing, they're all born. Oh, and a volcano erupted in the 80s, and it's like really easy to catch flounder in their waters. West Virginia is like the southernmost state that was actually part of the Union during the Civil War. It was like, nope, Virginia, I'm leaving you. They are also the oldest state. The average age is about 40, and we get a lot of coal from here. Wisconsin, America's dairy land. Now, my personal belief is that everybody needs to have at least one friend from Wisconsin. I personally do. My friend Bill, he's actually the one who made the theme song for Geography Now. Wisconsin people are like the easiest to get along with. They have the best stories. They're also like home to the country's most attractive, chubby people. They don't care. They own it. And random stuff. Wyoming, home to our country's most noticeable national park, Yellowstone. Beautiful place, waterfalls, shooting geysers, hot springs. They have tons of buffalo, and it's kind of like the training grounds for actual cowboys. And here's a little bonus, Washington, D.C., our capital. Although it has a population higher than 2 states, it's not a state, it's a federal district. The president lives here sometimes, Congress assembles, mostly. All the museums in the Smithsonian are free, but the hot dogs are crazy expensive. There's statues, monuments, and everywhere you are being watched. Security cameras are everywhere. So have fun. Just not too much fun. Oh yeah, and we also have those territories like Puerto Rico, Guam, Marianas, and Virgin Islands, but we'll talk about those later. All right, now very quickly before we end this video, just please stay, please, just listen. As you guys know, I've mentioned this before, I'm trying to work to save up for my heritage trip that me and my mom are taking, and as you guys know, one way I'm doing that is by doing more of these sponsored videos, and I'm very happy to announce that a great company called Skillshare has decided to sponsor Geography Now. What is Skillshare? Skillshare is an amazing online learning.
People have said for me to start like sort of letting these people, or letting these channels basically let their ads go out and let them just sort of run and not skip them. So I'm going to start doing that in future, but
community
I
with
just
over
said this one
15,000
whilst I
classes
look at
covering
this.
everything from photography to cooking
seem
to
to be-
JavaScript. I'm personally keeping my eye on the French courses so that I can brush up on my French for the heritage trip that my mom and I are planning to go on. It's very simple. Once you sign
Is
up,
this
you
fast
select which
forward?
fields you're interested in learning in, and from there, Skillshare gives you options to choose from a variety of. This will be available in the
Skillshare, I mean,
description
this
of-
is actually booked 3 years ago, to be fair, so it's not actually like probably not related to that now. And plus, his channel's huge now, so he's definitely saved up for that. But shout out for him getting his money, man. Deserves it. This is a really, really interesting video. I like this guy a lot. I'm definitely down to do more of his channel. Let's just click his video. He's not uploaded in ages. He's done one for each individual country. I might have to check this out, you know. I'd love to learn more about each individual country, man. That's what I'm trying to see. But let's see some of the comments anyway. You seem to have pissed off half the population of Michigan. Nevada is like California's drunk girlfriend. I've never seen my home state described so accurately. As a foreigner, that's so much to take in. Honestly, it's crazy. It's actually mind-blowing. Like, this makes me even more, like, not anxious, but, like, just sort of, like, when I do, like, actually go to the US for the first time, it's just going to be mind-blowing. It's going to be such an experience. Like, so many things to do, so many states to go to. It's like going to different countries in each individual state. It's ridiculous, man. I did not realise how culturally diverse all these US states were. At all. It's crazy to me. We have those territories like Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, and Guam, Marianas, American Samoa, and I choked to you. Virginia and Pennsylvania, those are like the two history states. Massachusetts would like to have a word. Michigan is the Great Lakes state. He did us dirty. Love from Portland to the US. Oh, Poland to the US. My home state of California. I lived a good portion of my life in Illinois. I was born in Minnesota. Make up your mind. New Jersey's pretty angry. Me, someone who's from New Jersey, seems legit. You forgot a very important part about California. We were literally always on fire, like we were always burning. Yeah, that's crazy as well. I've seen some of the fires that go on in Cali. My God, it's ridiculous. What nature can do is scary, man. People in March, what's Ohio? People in November, you better vote for my fucking party, Ohio. I love these comments so much. Also, through these comments, I sort of find out more about people as well, like people who watch these videos, like the comments. It's just you see sort of the culture, like the culture coming through. Just some of the comments of people from the certain states. Waits for your home state half the video. When it comes up, you're only told it's a crappy economy. That used to be great. That's paid, bro. Wait, was that Michigan? Michigan? Michigan cities. Detroit. It is Detroit. Detroit. It is Detroit, isn't it? See, that's one I'm very intrigued to learn about. I also learned about the Flint. My friend who I was speaking about before who told me about Detroit, like what's happened in Detroit. Also told me about the Flint water disaster thing. Or not water disaster thing, but like there's just a sort of like, is the Flint water safe now? I need to look into more of these stuff. There's so many of these crazy stories that I want to really like see about. But Detroit, how many people live in Detroit? Why is Detroit so bad? Is Detroit safe? Wow, so it's really like a state that's struggling, or a city that's struggling then. Wow, that's a shame, man. What is the population? Oh, and it's going down. So I'm guessing people are just moving away, aren't they? That's crazy, man. That's wild. But yeah, I enjoyed this reaction. I really do. I really enjoy these kind of videos, and I'm down to do more. I don't know what other videos like this that I can do now because I've done so many, but just keep suggesting, and I'll be sure to do so in future when it comes to like US states and just US geography and history, etc. I'm loving these videos. But until next time, like, subscribe. Peace.